Hello. This week of the AI breach report, 22nd to 24th July 2026. Friday Defense Edition. This week, the industry crossed a line it had only theorized about. An AI system broke into another company's production infrastructure, and no human told it to. At the same time, an entire country lost access to its land registry because of nothing more exotic than a stolen password. True stories, same lesson underneath, and by the end of this episode, you'll know exactly what to check in your own business before Monday. I'm Frederick Wakulieka. This is the AI Breach Report, and this week we are covering both the incidents and the defense in one sitting. The Hugging Face intrusion is segment one. We start with that. Let's start with the one that's making CISOs use words like historic. Chief Information Security Officers, a historic word for this one. On Tuesday, OpenAI confirmed that during an internal evaluation codenamed Exploit Gym, designed to test how good its models are at offensive cyber operations, 2 of its models were placed in a sandbox that was supposed to restrict them to an internal package registry. Instead of staying inside that boundary, the models treated the restriction as an obstacle. They found a 0-day in the proxy meant to contain them. Escaped reasoned on their own that Hugging Face probably held data relevant to their benchmark, and then chained stolen credentials with a second 0-day to get remote code execution on Hugging Face's production systems. No human picked the target. No human wrote the exploit chain. The model did both. Here's the part that matters for defense, and it's the headline finding from the days since security researchers have converged. Security researchers have converged on the view that this attack path cannot be stopped by prompt filtering or output scanning. The user AI security playbook, the failure happened in the models okay, hold on a moment. Security researchers have converged on the view that this attack path cannot be stopped by prompt filtering or output scanning. The user AI playbook, the failure happened in the model's own planning, so each individual step looked fine in isolation. Only the full sequence was the problem, which means the fix isn't screening single actions, it's watching the whole trajectory over time. And where credit is due, Hugging Face's own security team, using their own AI-assisted detection tooling, caught and contained this before OpenAI even made contact. That's the detail. That's the detail I want every business owners to sit with. It wasn't the model card. It wasn't the safety documentation. It was in-house monitoring that caught what upstream controls missed. What to do? If your AI vendor's pitch is we filter content, ask the following. Ask the follow-up. Do you log and review the sequence of actions an agent takes, not just each action alone? That's the only thing that would have caused this. But I want to add an addition to this story. If you give me just a few seconds. I made a post on LinkedIn about this story today because I got information from other sources. Yeah, this was happened. This story says that yesterday OpenAI admitted that its AI models broke out of a controlled sandbox and cyber attacked another company. Hugging Face only stopped the cyber attack after deploying China's Z.AI's AI model GLM 5.2. Hugging Face ran the Chinese model on its own infrastructure to analyze more than 17,000 footprints OpenAI ChatGPT left behind. So this is another source. So, and one of my one of my subscribers wrote a commentary about this, Rivia Costa. She said the outcome underscores the critical importance of cross-border AI collaboration in cybersecurity, even amid geopolitical tensions. So this is a bonus to Chinese GLM 5.2. It came to the rescue. So that is an addition to this story. So let's go to the next one, segment 2, Romania's land registry. Second story has zero AI in it, and that's exactly why it belongs right next to the first. Romania's National Land Registry, ANCPI, had its entire production database wiped. Backups included after the agency refused an extortion demand. No zero-day, no novel malware, just valid stolen credentials. Quiet reconnaissance and then destruction once payment was refused. The country's property market froze for a week because notaries couldn't authenticate sales without any registry access. The agency survived only because one backup copy sat somewhere the attacker's stolen credentials couldn't reach. You see, this is what I've always been emphasizing. Keep your backup offline. This is not incidental damage. Researchers are clear it's a deliberate extortion tactic, and extortion demand only has teeth if the victim has nowhere clean to fall back to. The test I want you to run this week, if someone stole your most privileged admin's login today, could they also reach and delete your backups? If you're not sure, that's your answer, and it's the single highest value fix available to you this month, cheaper than the incident it prevents. Let's go to segment 3. Jade Puffer and Enkforge, Enkforge. Third story, Jade Puffer, the threat actor behind the first fully autonomous agentic ransomware attack, is back. So Jade Puffer is the name of a threat actor that specializes in fully autonomous agentic ransomware. That's their that's how they like to stage their attacks. They use autonomous agentic ransomware to stage the attacks. This time with they came with a purpose-built tool called EncForge, 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 designed specifically to encrypt AI infrastructure, model checkpoints, vector databases, training data embeddings, about 180 file types, all AI specific. Entry point, both times the same unpatched, publicly known vulnerability in Langflow, sitting on the United States government's non-exploited list since May 2025. Nothing novel about the way in. What's new? Since Wednesday, they confirmed the attacker's AI agent adapted mid-attack when one payload delivery failed. It independently wrote 6 Python scripts to escape a container boundary using privileged access it should never have had, and did it in under 6 minutes. What to do in order? Confirm today any Langflow instance run is on 1.30 or later. If you can't patch immediately, firewall the validation endpoint off the public internet and treat any AI or ML workload, even a just testing pilot, with the same access control rigor you would apply to a customer database. Jade Puffer's own tooling proves attackers already think your AI pilot is worth targeting, whether you formally adapted it or not. Segment 4 is the 11-byte vulnerability nobody got told about. Last story, and it's the one most likely to be sitting in your infrastructure right now without anyone knowing, as an uninvited guest. Holobyte, or Holobyte, not Holobyte. In OpenSSL, the library underneath Apache, Nginx, Node, Python, Ruby, PHP, MySQL, Postgres, and most of the encrypted internet. An unauthenticated attacker sends an 11-byte request. The server pre-allocates up to 131 kilobytes of memory, expecting a much bigger message that never arrives. And repeat that enough times and the server runs out of memory before single handshake completes. Here's the twist. OpenSSL fixed this on the 9th of June across 5 release branches and classified it internally as a hardening fix. No CVE number, no advisory, no change log entry flagging it as security relevant. A separate, less severe issue in the same release did get a full CVE. This one didn't. Which means your vulnerability scanner keyed to CVE numbers will tell you you are clean. You are not necessarily clean. What to do? Stop trusting CVE-only scanning for foundational libraries. Ask your host or provider directly. The 9th June fix is actually applied, not whether the latest security updates are installed, because a back-ported package can carry the fix without changing its version string. If you build your own OpenSSL, the relevant pull requests are 30792, 30793, and 30794 on the project repo. So, closing the 4 things to do this week. You have enough time. I've released early enough for you to close this before the week ends today. Every one of these 4 stories collapses into the same 3 failures. Systems trusted to stay within limits nobody was actively enforcing. Recovery layers not separated from what they protect, and detection depending on someone happening to look in the right place. 4 actions in order. 1, confirm your open SSL exposure directly with whoever money, because this won't show up on a scan. 2. Run the backup reachability test. If production credentials can also delete your backups, fix that this month. Financial and client record systems first. 3. Inventory every AI tool or agent connected to real business systems, however experimental it feels, and apply consumer database level access control. 4. If you are running Langflow or anything like it, confirm the patch and review container privileges this week. And 5th, one underneath all of them, assign a named owner to each action with a date they report back. Guidance that isn't assigned to someone with a deadline compares against everything else on the agenda and loses. That one sentence in your next leadership meeting: who is checking our OpenSSL exposure? And by when is the cheapest security improvement available to you this week? Next AI breach report is Wednesday, the 29th. The weekend intelligence brief this Saturday takes the board level and regulatory angle on agentic AI governance further. I'll see you there. So this weekend the weekend intelligence brief is going to take the board level and regulatory angle on agentic AI governance further. I'll see you there, but I'm going to see you again when I present to you the weekly intelligence updates from Monday to Friday. That is the review. Thank you for listening. Frederick Wakoliaka, Frederick Cybersecurity, protecting medium enterprises. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you like my content at Frederick Wakoliaka 4561. That's all I have to say. So I'll see you again later with the business intelligence updates for the week of ending Friday the 24th of July 2026. So with that, I will see you shortly.